What is going on, traders? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader. It is the first of the month. You know what that means. Two things. It is time for our top stocks for this month. In this case, it's December 2020. So here are my top 8 stocks to buy now for December 2020. And the second thing is, if you're new to this channel, I do a sweepstakes on the beginning of every month. And basically, you guys will leave your stocks or options plays in the comment section below. I will pick a comment at random during the filming of my next video. And whoever comment I picked, I will give you all of the profits associated with that play if there are any profits to be made. Obviously, if it's a loss, I'll just eat the loss. But leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what stock or options play you want me to get to enter with my Webull account, and I will go all in. And speaking of Webull, if you want 2 free stocks, click on the Webull link below. You will get 2 free stocks for signing up and depositing. And if you get anything out of this video, leave it a big fat thumbs up just like this. You guys seem to be enjoying these top stocks for the month series, so I'm happy to oblige and do them for you. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So if you watched the top stocks for November 2020, a few of the stocks, I think I went over 15 stocks at that time. It was something crazy. But a few of the stocks, we'll just go over some of the updates, and then we'll get into the top stocks for December 2020. So we had Visa, AMD, Workhorse, Vertex, and Apps. If we take a look at Visa, that play is currently up around 15% since I made that video. Workhorse is up, I think, around 50%. Yeah, it's up 50% since November 3rd, which is the date that I dropped the last video. AMD is up 23%. Digital Turbine is an absolute beast, up 43% since we dropped the last video. And last one, Vertex, up around 10% since we dropped the video. In my view, this one actually has a lot more room to grow. You could see the potential double bottom pattern here. So definitely some significant wins from last month. And if you want access to all of our trades, link is in the description below, where I send out all of my plays, my stocks, options, crypto plays, my portfolios, etc. Link is in the description below. There are definitely a lot more valid plays than these top 8 stocks for December 2020. All right, so what is stock number 1 on our list? Stock number 1 on our list is Quidel. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Quidel, this is basically it's been around for a long time, but it's the company that is responsible for fast diagnostic testing, specifically with COVID. But, again, it's been around since 1979, so other diseases as well, but it definitely got its shine during this pandemic period. Now, for those of you that are thinking, hey, the vaccine's coming, we won't need any more testing, it is quite the opposite. We will likely need even more mass testing even after the vaccines are released, right? Because, I mean, think of this. If sports are going to resume with in-person audiences, for instance, you could see here on this news story on Seeking Alpha, it says that Quidel will partner with Pac-12, which is one of the collegiate athletic conferences, to administer COVID-19 testing in the Western United States colleges for athletes, right? So just think of how many, just from a sports perspective, right? How many teams there are, how many leagues there are. This is just one partnership with the Pac-12. Assuming that it goes well, it will likely propagate into other sports and other conferences. Think about schools reopening and how much testing will be involved there. Yes, the vaccine will be there, but 1, the vaccine won't be available to everybody. And 2, not everyone's going to take the vaccine. You will still need frequent testing to make sure that the numbers are dropping so that things can keep reopening, right? And specifically, we're talking about workplaces, schools, sports, the hospitality industry like hotels and cruise lines, etc. So for sure, just because a vaccine comes does not mean that Quidel drops out of the picture or becomes less relevant. And then if we take a look at the chart, which to me is equally as important, you'll see that Quidel is forming this triple bottom here at this level. Can even be considered an inverse head and shoulders, but either way, you see that it is forming this bottom at this level here, which is generally a bullish pattern. Like I said, this can be an inverse head and shoulders. I'm going to draw a really sloppy one here, but basically an inverse head and shoulders would be a very bullish pattern. So in my view, Quidel can get back to its all-time highs, which would mark a pretty significant increase for us. This is almost near $300. Let's see what it would be from current prices. there's still maybe 50% left of room to grow just to get back to all-time highs. So I'm very bullish on Qdel at this level and happy to buy it at the 200-day moving averages as well. If you're not new to this channel, you know that I love buying stocks on major retracements, and I never buy things at the all-time high. I never get that FOMO feeling of needing to buy at all-time high. So I love these major retracements. Also, you could set a pretty tight stop limit from your entry because you're literally entering at support. So your stop limit can be very close to your entry, somewhere around here, which is like 162. So a very low risk, high reward entry here on Qdel for December 2020. All right, stock number 2, staying within the general sector, is TMO, or Thermo Fisher Scientific. Now, probably from the name, you guessed it, that this is some sort of, biopharmaceutical company, and you'd be right, but they are also going to be one of the main suppliers of components that will help store and distribute the vaccines, specifically the refrigerators, or whatever they're called in scientific terms. And you could see that their long-term growth here continues to accelerate year over year. So this is not just a COVID-19 play. They're an extremely profitable bio company, as you could see here. And like I said, their growth metrics are very impressive. So let's take a look at the chart real quick, and you'll see that TMO had recently retraced to the 100-day moving average, something that it hasn't done since April. And like I said, I love these retracements to the major moving averages, and I relish the opportunity to buy it here, as well as it being oversold on the stochastic RSI. And you could see the RSI forming a nice bounce. So I'm definitely excited to own this at this level here. There is obviously a short-term move to at least the 528, 530 range, which is where it was just a few weeks ago, but it very well could go beyond that. So buying TMO for December 2020. All right, stock number 3, this is a 5G play, AMT, American Tower Corporation. I talked about them before. One of the largest real estate investment trusts in the world. They are a leading owner and operator of multi-tenant communications towers, or 5G towers. But they don't just deal with towers, they deal with communications real estate at large. Let us take a look at AMT's AMT's chart. This is actually what got me excited about AMT. Obviously, it's been on my radar for a while. We've been trading it for months and months. However, it is now back at major support. So again, buying at support allows you to enter these low risk, high reward entries. Why? Well, because you could set a stop limit very close to where you enter. And if things don't go your way, then you are protected here. But if they do, then there is a lot of upside near your entry. But 5G hasn't even got going yet. So I'm very bullish on 5G stocks, and especially, sector leaders like AMT. I'll give you a little bonus here to our top 8. So really it'll be top 9, but this is a no-brainer. Apple, which we rebought during the support level that you see here, but Apple has an easy path to 140. I think it was recently upgraded a couple of days ago to, I think, 190 or 192, for sure on the heels of its new communication devices that are all 5G compliant as well. So both AMT and Apple to me are a 5G 1-2 punch combo. All right, stock number 4, Blue, or Bluebird Bio Inc. Bluebird Bio Inc. is a biotech company, but more specifically in the area of gene therapy and gene manipulation, sort of like CRISPR. But Bluebird Bio, what really attracted me to it, besides obviously its value, what attracted me to it is, again, the chart here. If you look at its chart, again, we've traded this before. We traded it, I think it was back around April timeframe. But if you take a look at the weekly chart, you could see that this area is very significant for Blue, right? And again, I love these low risk, high reward entries. It is now back at this level that we saw in June 2016. And if you project what its growth could be, the last time I think we made around 40 or 50% on this move up here. But if it goes back to all-time highs, I mean, we're talking about a 2x, 3x stock here. Now, one of the reasons why it dropped is due to a delay in some of their offerings and some of their medical advances. So we want to take advantage of these exaggerated or overreactions, right? We want to take advantage of them and buy these dips, because if it's just a delay, and there's nothing fundamentally wrong with the company or with the company's products, then you can essentially buy the fear and write it up based on what the chart looks like. So I'm bullish on Blue at this price for sure. Again, a very low risk, high reward entry. All right, stock number 5, BBY, or Best Buy. I don't need to go into into its financials, you guys already know that Best Buy is a profitable company. You guys already know what it does, what its service offerings are. But Best Buy is now at the 100-day moving average, and this has been one of the companies that have actually benefited during the pandemic. Also, the holidays are coming up, so definitely looking to add a major profitable retailer like Best Buy here on a retracement. Now, there are definitely other retailers that I'm bullish on for a recovery, such as Macy's, JWN. I will be doing a whole other recovery video. I will be doing a whole other video on recovery stocks and how are we going to play that major sector rotation that we will eventually see once we have the vaccine and once a good chunk of this pandemic subsides. So I will be doing a whole other video on that. But Best Buy here at the 100-day moving average, definitely happy to buy it and hold it for the long term. All right, stock number 6 is GLD. GLD is not really a stock. It's an ETF based on gold, right? So you're basically speculating on the price of gold without having to buy the precious metals. Speaking of gold, I will be coming out. I did buy quite a bit of gold in Dubai. If you could see this here, these are some ounces of gold that I bought in Dubai. Let's see if you can actually see that. But I bought some ounces of gold. I will be coming out with a video on this, on my experience actually buying gold at the gold market in Dubai. There was one person who tried to scam me, but watch out for that video. I think you guys will like it. Definitely something different. All right, back to this. So GLD is basically an ETF that tracks the price of gold. And if you look at GLD, or the price of gold here, it's at the 200-day moving average. The last time we hit this was during the bottom of the pandemic, right? And this is because interest rates are low and equities are flying, stocks are flying. So investors are showing a more risk on appetite, and they don't want to hold, low interest bearing investments or things such as precious metals. So they're rotating into stocks. However, if we get another stimulus passed, and there was news today that we might get an emergency stimulus passed of almost $1 trillion, and that is aside from the relief that might come with the next administration, then you will start to see precious metals rise back up. That's part of the reason why Bitcoin's price is up as well. So a 15% drop on gold sitting at the 200-day moving average, definitely a good hedge in your portfolio for your cash, as well as for other equities that might lose value if we do get a market drop. So GLD here at a major retracement, willing to buy and hold this for the long term. All right, stock number 7, GRBK, or Green Brick Partners. You could see here, this is one of the best rated stocks on Seeking Alpha. Everybody and their mother is bullish on this stock, and it is still around $21. This stock is in the home building industry, also operates a land development company. But if you take a look at its financials, its profitability, its growth, its value, etc., it is just beating out the rest of the sector by a mile. And with more people working remotely, moving out of big cities into homes in the suburbs, and with interest rates remaining low and likely to remain low for the foreseeable future, there is a lot of bullish sentiment around home building itself. Now, this is a steady growth and profitability stock. Obviously, there isn't much decline from its recent highs, but it is pretty far away from its all-time highs. And the sentiment there is that the trajectory keeps on going, especially on the leading stock in this sector. So a stock like GRBK, even though it hasn't seen much retracement lately, could easily double or triple in the long term. So I'm definitely keeping this in my long-term portfolio. All right, last but not least is DBX, Dropbox. Now, this stock here, they're not really doing anything revolutionary. But the rumor mill is that this stock is ripe for getting acquired. And we know that when stocks get acquired, especially in the tech sector, those stocks tend to see a huge rally after the announcement. So because it's just hovering around $20 and it looks like it's at support, it's a pretty sleepy stock. There are times when it does see, rallies of $1 or $2. But in general, if we're looking for a high growth stock and we're looking for a pretty low risk opportunity where we could see a major rally on an announcement of some sort of acquisition, DBX is a ripe candidate for that. Now, it is definitely no slouch financially. DBX is a profitable company and it is a cash flow machine. But like I said, it's not really doing anything revolutionary at the moment. However, it is very reasonably valued. And as I said, it is a cash flow machine, especially compared to the size of the company. You see the free cash flows here from operations, $528 million in cash last year. The year before, 425, the year before, 330. And it's just accelerated growth in cash. And with more people working remotely for the foreseeable future, these SaaS-based collaborative companies are definitely shining right now. And just like we saw with Slack being bought out by Salesforce, Dropbox looks ripe for an acquisition. And it just seems like an easy place to park your cash in anticipation for a major rally, especially again on a company that's already profitable, that's generating a ton of cash at the moment. Anyway, that is it for this video. Again, leave your plays in the comment section below. Let me know what stock or options play you want me to go all in on, and I will pick it in the next video. Also, let me know which of these you already own or are planning on buying. Again, this is not a comprehensive list. These top 8 stocks for December 2020 is just a piece of the pie. There are a lot more companies to look at in different sectors, whether we're talking about recovery stocks or SPACs or EVs or whatever. So I will be doing videos on those, but make sure you sign up for the trading group in the link below to get access to all of our plays, all of my portfolios, etc. We have a growing community of over 1,000 traders, so you definitely don't want to miss what we have to say in there. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.